Chapter 9. Anatomy of a Mystery. To conclude, I propose to discuss a few key questions and make a few observations of the material presented in this book. Let us begin with what is probably the most crucial question of all. Who or what is Tom? As I see it, there are 5 possibilities to be taken into consideration. 1. Tom is a pure invention, a creation of Andrea, Phyllis or John, or of the 3 of them in collusion. 2. Tom is an unconscious invention, a composite created out of information contained in the minds of the sitters by the well-known mediumistic process of withdrawal of such information. 3. Tom is a secondary personality of Phyllis's, endowed with psi abilities, that takes over when she is in a dissociated state of consciousness. 4. Tom is a spirit, a discarnate entity with extraordinary powers of invention and cognition. 5. Tom is what he says he is, an intelligent being from another part of the cosmos. The possibility of fraud and invention can, I think, be quite definitely ruled out on the basis of what we now know of the personalities of John, Andrea and Phyllis, the manner of their coming together, and their sustained commitment and dedication. Some hyperskeptical readers may not agree, and some, it occurs to me, may even suspect that I have made the whole thing up, but I think that the majority will agree with me that possibility number 1 can be eliminated. So we are left with 2 parapsychological hypotheses, possibilities 2 and 3, and 2 hypotheses that we may call transcendental, possibilities 4 and 5, all 4 of which come down to the basic question whether Tom exists independently of the 3 and their shared situation. Let us see what relevant evidence we can marshal from the communications that might throw some light on this question. In view of the complexity of the material and of the problem it poses, the most convenient approach will be to break down and analyze the evidence under a number of subheadings. Alleged identity and abilities. Tom states repeatedly in the communications that he represents Minus, as spokesman, and is one of the 9 governing principles and powers of the universe. But, he insists, we are not God. All of you and all of us make God. He is always insistent that man's tendency to worship and deify what he does not understand only inhibits his own and the planet's development. We are not your gods, he says, we do not rule you or control you. We are all one and we work in harmony with you. Men have conceived God as being omnipotent and omniscient, and according to Tom this erroneous belief has made the work of the 9 very difficult. Far from being omniscient, they are puzzled by the ways of the world and of men. It is important for us to learn, through you, of the nature of the physical, says Tom, and again, we cannot do for this planet what this planet must do for itself. But if the abilities of the 9 and their associated civilizations are limited, they are certainly impressive by human standards. They include mind reading, prophecy, materialization and dematerialization, the ability to interfere with the mechanisms of motor cars and clocks, to mention but a few. Such alleged abilities, particularly the psychophysical ones that suggest an advanced technology, would argue in favor of possibility number 5 if they could be both consistently demonstrated and proved to be effects with no conceivable natural causes. But the 9, according to Tom, are disinclined to produce signs and wonders to order, for they have tried such tactics in the past and have only been deified for their trouble, which annoys them because it is man's cooperation and not his worship that they need in order to accomplish their purpose. This is a coherent attitude. Tom exhibits a robust intelligence and a consistency of purpose and attitude that is suggestive if not evidential of his independent existence. As William James remarked, most mediumistic trance utterances have a generic similarity in different individuals and consist of a curiously vague optimistic philosophy and water and could have been written by the same author. The Ossining Group's communications do not fall into this category. Whoever or whatever Tom is, he is impressively original. But of course so are the people he is involved with. The question is he original in a different way? One way of approaching this question is to consider how he interrelates with the others. Patterns of relationships. Both as a teacher and as a colleague in an undertaking, Tom consistently exhibits superior wisdom, knowledge and psychological insight. He understands the problems the 3 have with their own personalities and in their relations with others, and particularly the problems they have encountered through their involvement with and dedication to the work. He has repeatedly warned them, collectively and individually, of the dangers of excessive zeal.